Welcome to the FireSquid Capital Funding Edge, where we discuss alternative lending strategies to help get you funded quickly.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving into a crucial topic for businesses that are ready to grow,
Mm-hmm.
but might not have the assets typically required for traditional loans.
Right.
It can be frustrating when you know your business has potential,
Yeah, absolutely.
but you hit a wall when it comes to securing funding.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
So,
That's where alternative lending strategies come in,
okay,
specifically no collateral business lines of credit.
that's right. And FireSquid Capital is at the forefront of this innovative approach.
Absolutely.
They've done some impressive research on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to break down their findings so you can see how this could be a game changer for you.
Absolutely. One of the biggest misconceptions surrounding no collateral lines of credit
Okay.
is the perceived risk.
Yeah.
People tend to assume it's a gamble for the lender, but FireSquid Capital looks beyond traditional collateral and focuses on the heart of your business.
It's like looking under the hood, not just at the paint shop.
Exactly.
Right.
They're interested in the engine, the mechanics that drive your business's success.
Uh-huh.
FireSquid Capital assesses your financial health cash flow patterns, and most importantly,
Okay.
your projected revenue and growth potential.
So they're not just looking at your past performance, they're looking at your future trajectory.
Precisely, they want to see that your business has a clear path to growth
Yeah,
and that this line of credit will actually fuel that growth.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But let's talk about another common concern, interest rates.
Sure.
Many business owners assume that without collateral,
Right.
those rates will skyrocket.
That's a natural assumption.
Yeah.
But FireSquid Capital's research shows a different picture.
Okay.
Their rates are designed to be competitive,
Uh-huh.
and they take a personalized approach to determine the best rate for each business.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Not at all. They consider various factors like your industry, your credit history,
Yeah.
and as we mentioned, your growth potential.
It's about understanding the individual needs and potential of each business.
Absolutely. And this personalized approach extends to the qualification process as well.
Right.
You might think, well, I don't have a lot of assets, so I won't even qualify.
Right.
But FireSquid Capital specializes in helping businesses that don't have extensive assets.
Yeah.
It's what they do best.
That's great news for businesses that might not fit the traditional lending mold.
Hmm.
And speaking of challenging assumptions, let's tackle the dreaded application process.
Okay.
Many business owners might assume it's going to be a complicated and time-consuming headache.
Right. FireSquid Capital has addressed this head on.
Okay.
They've streamlined the application process to be as transparent and supportive as possible.
Uh-huh.
They want to make it easy for you to access the funding you need.
So it's designed to be user-friendly and less daunting than traditional loan applications. This all sounds promising, but let's bring it down to earth.
Okay.
Does this actually work in the real world?
Let me introduce you to Maria from Urban Blooms,
Okay.
a flourishing online plant shop.
Interesting.
Maria was facing the classic entrepreneur's dilemma.
Oh.
She needed capital to keep up with her booming business,
Yeah.
but she didn't have the traditional collateral like real estate.
I can see how that would be a real roadblock,
Right.
especially for a growing business.
Exactly. Maria was initially hesitant about a no collateral line of credit. It was a new concept for her,
Yeah.
and she had some natural concerns.
Right.
But she decided to take a leap of faith and partnered with FireSquid Capital.
And what was the outcome?
Well, within 6 months, Maria's business grew by an incredible 40%.
Wow.
She was able to access the funds she needed to expand her inventory, invest in marketing,
Uh-huh.
and ultimately take her business to the next level.
That's a remarkable testament to both Maria's entrepreneurial spirit
Yeah.
and FireSquid Capital's approach.
Absolutely. And for those listening who are eager to learn more about FireSquid Capital and its lending products,
Okay.
you can visit firesquidcapital.com.
That's great to hear. And it highlights how overcoming those initial doubts about no collateral lines of credit
Mm-hmm.
can lead to incredible results. But Maria's story is just one example.
Right.
Stay with us as we delve into more case studies and practical solutions that illustrate the power of this approach.
Absolutely. What's so exciting is that Maria's story isn't an isolated incident.
Yeah.
FireSquid Capital's research reveals a consistent pattern of success for businesses that embrace no collateral lines of credit.
Interesting.
They found that these lines of credit can be a real catalyst for growth,
Okay.
enabling businesses to seize opportunities they might have otherwise missed.
That's fascinating. It sounds like this approach really empowers businesses to reach their full potential.
Absolutely.
But let's get even more specific.
No.
Can you walk us through some real-world examples that highlight how Fire Squid Capital helps businesses overcome various challenges.
Absolutely. Let's consider Sarah,
Okay.
the owner of the Daily Grind,
Yeah.
a popular local coffee shop.
Okay.
Sarah was facing a common problem for small business owners,
Yeah.
fluctuating cash flow.
Right.
She had a great business model and a loyal customer base.
Yeah.
But those unpredictable swings in revenue made it difficult to manage expenses and invest in growth.
I can imagine how frustrating that would be, especially when you have a clear vision for your business,
Exactly.
but lack the financial stability to execute it.
And traditional lenders often require a level of financial consistency
Yeah.
that many small businesses, especially those in their early stages, simply can't meet.
So Sarah didn't qualify for traditional loans.
Right.
What did she do?
That's where Fire Squid Capital came in.
Right.
They recognized the underlying strength of Sarah's business.
Huh?
They saw her passion, her dedication, and her potential.
So they look beyond those temporary fluctuations in cash flow.
Precisely, Fire Squid Capital took a holistic view of her business, focusing on her solid business plan, her loyal customer base,
Yeah.
and her smart revenue projections.
And they were willing to provide her with a no collateral line of credit based on that assessment.
Yes, and the results were remarkable.
Yep.
The line of credit gave Sarah the financial flexibility she desperately needed.
Yeah.
She was able to negotiate better prices with suppliers, reducing her costs significantly.
Oh.
She was also able to invest in a new catering service,
Okay.
expanding her offerings and reaching new customers.
That's a smart strategy, diversifying her revenue streams and tapping into new markets.
Exactly, and the impact on her bottom line was undeniable.
Yeah.
Sarah's monthly revenue increased by an impressive 30%.
Wow.
She was even able to pay off her line of credit ahead of schedule.
That's incredible. It sounds like a win-win situation for both Sarah and Fire Squid Capital.
Right?
Sarah gets the capital she needs to grow, and Fire Squid Capital invests in a promising business with a high likelihood of success. Do you have another example that highlights a different challenge and solution?
Let's talk about David from Artisan Eats,
Yep.
a catering company specializing in unique, locally sourced menus.
Interesting.
David had a slightly different challenge.
Okay.
He had landed several large catering contracts,
Wow.
but needed to scale up his operations quickly to fulfill those orders.
So he needed immediate access to capital to invest in things like ingredient staff and possibly equipment.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And while David had a solid track record and a strong reputation, he lacked the traditional collateral often required for larger loans.
It sounds like he was in a bit of a catch-22.
Right.
He had the opportunity to significantly grow his business, but he needed funding to make it happen.
Exactly. And that's where Fire Squid Capital's understanding of the alternative lending landscape
Okay.
and their focus on business potential truly made a difference. They worked closely with David to understand his unique situation and his vision for the future.
So they didn't just look at his balance sheet. They looked at the bigger picture.
Absolutely. And that's a key element of Fire Squid Capital's approach.
Yeah.
They dig deeper to understand the story behind the numbers. They consider factors like industry trends, market demand,
Right.
and the entrepreneur's drive and expertise.
So it's about seeing the person behind the business plan.
You got it. And in David's case, Fire Squid Capital recognized his talent, his commitment to quality, and the potential for his business to thrive. They saw beyond the lack of traditional collateral
Yeah.
and provided him with a tailored solution that enabled him to seize this incredible opportunity.
And what did that solution look like? Was it
Yeah.
a no collateral line of credit as well?
Yes, but with a unique twist.
Okay.
Fire Squid Capital understood that David's needs were different from Sarah's. While Sarah needed flexibility to manage fluctuating cash flow,
Right.
David needed a solution that aligned with the specific demands of his catering contracts.
Okay.
So they offered him a revolving line of credit. That gave him access to funds as needed,
Interesting.
allowing him to draw down funds for each event, pay them back as he got paid, and then access more funds for the next project.
That's incredibly smart. It's like a customized financial tool that's specifically designed to support the ebb and flow of his business.
Exactly. It's about understanding the nuances of each business and tailoring the financing to their unique needs and growth patterns.
Yeah.
And the impact on David's business was transformative.
Okay.
He was able to fulfill his contracts, expand his team, and establish himself as a go-to caterer in his region.
That's inspiring.
Yeah.
It shows how alternative lending strategies can open doors and create possibilities that might have seemed out of reach.
Absolutely. And for those listening who want to explore the possibilities of no collateral lines of credit,
Okay.
FireSquid Capital is an excellent resource to get more information about FireSquid Capital and its lending products. Visit firesquidcapital.com.
These case studies are so compelling, they really paint a vivid picture of how Fire Squid Capital partners with businesses to overcome financial hurdles and unlock growth. But I know many of our listeners are probably wondering, okay, this all sounds great, but how do I actually get started?
That's a great question, and we'll break down the specific steps you can take to secure a no collateral line of credit right after a quick word from FireSquid Capital. Stay with us.
So we've heard some inspiring stories and seen how Fire Squid Capital empowers businesses to thrive. But now let's get practical.
Okay.
What steps can our listeners take to explore these opportunities for themselves?
It's all about being prepared and presenting your business in the best possible light.
Okay,
First and foremost, take a deep dive into your financials.
so get to know those numbers inside and out.
Exactly. Lenders want to see a clear understanding of your financial position, including cash flow revenue trends and those all-important future projections.
Okay.
It shows you're a responsible borrower who's serious about growth.
It's like laying the foundation for a strong and transparent relationship.
Right.
What comes next?
Next, gather all your essential documents.
Okay.
Bank statements, tax returns, sales reports.
Yeah.
Anything that paints a complete picture of your business's performance.
It's like creating a compelling narrative with your financials, showing the lender your journey so far and where you're headed.
Precisely, a well-organized financial history speaks volumes about your commitment to success.
So we've analyzed our financials and gathered our documentation.
All right.
What's the next step?
This is where FireSquid Capital truly shines.
Oh, bro.
Their streamlined application process is designed to be user-friendly and transparent.
Yeah.
You won't get lost in a maze of paperwork and jargon.
That's a relief to hear. I know many business owners dread those complicated applications,
Absolutely.
so they make it easy to navigate and understand each step of the way.
Exactly. And finally, don't just present the numbers, tell your story.
Okay.
Highlight your business's growth potential, your unique value proposition, and that spark of passion that drives you.
It's about conveying the human element behind the financials,
Right.
the vision and the drive that fuels your success.
Exactly. Lenders want to see that this line of credit isn't just a temporary fix. It's an investment in your business's future.
Yeah.
They want to partner with businesses that are poised for growth and success.
This has been such an insightful conversation, demystifying the world of alternative lending and showcasing how Fire Squid Capital empowers businesses to break free from those traditional constraints.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that there's more than one path to funding.
Right.
And sometimes those alternative paths lead to the most rewarding destinations.
I love that analogy, and I think it leads us to a powerful question for our listeners.
Okay.
Now that you've seen the possibilities that no collateral lines of credit can unlock, what growth opportunities could you seize for your business?
It's time to dream big, think strategically, and explore those avenues that might have seemed out of reach before.
And remember, Fire Squid Capital is there to guide you on that journey.
Absolutely.
To get more information about Fire Squid Capital and its lending products, visit firesquidcapital.com.
That's firesquidcapital.com. They're ready to help you unlock your business's full potential.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into alternative lending strategies. We'll see you next time.